first one, that 10 degree.
So
Yeah,
I just drew a line that was 1 inch long.
Okay.
Just so it would make it fully constrained. Because that line just is really nothing. It's really just a construction line that I just put a length on it to make it there.
Yeah.
And I dimensioned an angle from that horizontal line to that edge. And that turned the hexagon, or the octagon.
Okay, I'm still not seeing how do you, like,
Because other than that, this octagon turns.
right?
And so I turned it the direction I wanted to go. And I just dimensioned from here to this line and this is a line, just a horizontal line that I drew.
Right.
And I just told it 10 degrees.
How did it not just try to do the length? Because whenever I've done that, I try to do the length.
If the lines are not parallel, it's automatically going to give you the angle between them.
Oh, okay, that's useful.
If the lines are parallel, it's going to give you the distance between them.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks. That's what I didn't know.
And then and it should be showing in metric. There you go. So I did that one. I extruded it. I did that little piece. So I just kind of extended this edge out, drew that in, extruded up to it, and then centered it on the face, patterned it, and just when I did the pattern, I just turned on the suppress, and I just suppressed that bottom one. And then I made the hole, and then I had to fill that bottom back in. So if we had done it on the circle first, and then cut those out, and then patterned those cuts, it probably would have saved me a step. So, see, this is the first time I did it. I didn't write out a plan first. See what happens when you don't write out a plan? You don't figure out the best way to do it.
How did you do that filling there with the part to fill in that part?
I just drew a circle from here out to the corner. And then I drew a line from there to there and just had to line up. My favorite kind of sketch is this kind you don't have to put any dimensions on. And I just extruded that piece down, and then I extruded, so I did that, line down, over, up, and then made the two sides equal. And then I drew, actually on the inside here, because it's going all the way through, I drew on the inside because it was already flat, found the midpoint, did my hole. Okay, makes sense? And so I needed to adjust this because this thing, if it's gonna be turning, it probably should be balanced or close to being balanced, right? And so if we go to inspect, so it'd be on a shaft, and then the whole shaft would turn. That's what the keyway is for, to hold in place.
What axis is it spinning?
This axis.
The blade side.
It's going to turn around this circle here. This keeps it from sliding up and down.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so if I go to inspect and I go to center of mass, I can pick on a part, and that's going to give me a little button there for the center of mass of it. So where that center is. And so if I go back and look at the top and I turn on my origin, that's pretty close. It's off a little tiny bit, but before I started adjusting my slot, I had this at like 10. Actually, that moved it up. But you can see as I'm editing it, it's showing where it was at that step. And I can kind of move where that is based on changing the size of that slot, because it's changing how much mass is down there to get the center moved back up. And so I just kind of did that till it was close-ish. Again, this is something that if we were actually doing, would spend a little bit more time. But also, these threads aren't cut right. It's just that. So if I do the modeled threads, that might move it now too. So, but you can just turn off the analysis here to turn that on and off. So, and you can just use that to kind of adjust the size of that slot if you want to. Again, I'm not being super picky on it, but I want you to get the general idea. And so yeah, maybe try it by drawing the circle and cutting it. So what size circle would you draw? What if you were going to do that diameter of that circle first? What would it be?
Uh, 80.9 millimeters.
No, 80.9 plus 6.3.
Yeah.
Really?
I thought you draw a
That's-
circle and then you draw. The
So if I did the circle first, and I dimension the diameter of this, it'd probably be that 89.5 divided by 2, or no, 89 plus, there we go, plus, what is that? 80.9, so 80.9 plus 2 times 6,
Yeah.
6.3.
Yeah.
I'd have to put that in, because I'd have to have that 6.3 on both sides.
Yeah.
Millimeters, millimeters, and millimeters. There we go. And now I can extrude that up.
Might be worth
Whatever.
it to change your units for the.
Yes, I should probably do that.
I keep seeing you had it done and then.
And then I can just go in and create a sketch. And I draw a line from here to here to here. This line needs to be coincident with the origin. I need to have a sacrificial line here. And now I can dimension from there to there by 10. And from there, my 6.3. And now I can do my pattern. There you go. So yeah, that's better. See, sometimes the first time you attempt it is not the best. That's why if you spend the time to come up with a little plan first before you just start drawing, you come up with a better option. Okay? So, any questions on this one? No? So, see, things that look hard, really not that hard. That's what I want you to try and start getting, just how can you break it down into easier things? Okay? So that's going to be the rest of this week.